And that's the thing about drifting. You could be drifting away and not really notice just how far you are getting away from the ocean shore. The ocean shore being Jesus, okay? And our life being like the waves drifting us away. Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Melody and I make faith-based content here on YouTube. I post new videos every single Monday and Thursday. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely be sure to subscribe. I would love to have you join the family. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about signs that you may be distracted. And in that distraction, you may finding yourself drifting away from the Lord. And the thing about this is, first and foremost, these signs are not meant to condemn you whatsoever. They're not meant to shame you, and they are not meant to make you feel guilty. I feel like so often on this walk, we can feel like if we're not doing things perfectly, then we are failing. But that is not the case whatsoever. The thing about us drifting away from God is each and every time we recognize that we're drifting and we make the intentional pursuit of going back towards Christ, He is going to welcome us with open arms. So I hope these signs can just encourage you if you are noticing any of these in your life, give you some direction as to what you might be experiencing, and then also kind of point you back to the Lord. So let's get into it. So sign number one on our list is there is no silence throughout your day. So maybe you're filling up your day with podcasts, music, movies, TV shows, sermons even. So the things you're filling your day up with don't necessarily have to be bad, but if they are filling up every ounce of silence that you possibly could have throughout the day, that is absolutely a sign that you could be drifting away from God. And now this is something that I have gone through and something that I am fighting every single day to not slip back into. But there have been seasons of my life where every free moment I had, I was either listening to music, listening to a podcast, or listening to a TV show. But once I stopped, not only did I realize how overstimulated I was as a human, but I realized just how many nudgings from God and just how many times He wanted to talk to me that I was missing because there just wasn't the space for Him to do that. And so now as I am challenging myself again every single day, because it is a fight, guys, breaking these habits, this is something that I've been doing for a long time. And so as I'm trying to break these habits and as the Lord has been really gracing me with the discipline to do that, I've been getting these just downloads from Him throughout the day. So for instance, the other day I was driving, and when I used to drive, I used to always listen to music or a podcast. But now I'm driving in silence. And as I was driving through the city to get to my destination, I saw different people on the road, and the Lord was like, pray for them. And I'm over here praying for this random family I see in Centennial Park, and I'm just like, wow, how many times did I miss the opportunity to literally be the hands and feet of Jesus just by praying for someone, by just being in my own little world, distracted by consuming a podcast or consuming some music. So the Bible verse I want to leave for you guys here, I'm going to go ahead and pop it up on the screen. It comes from Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 11 through 13. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with this one. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all of your heart." And now a few things for me stick out from this Bible verse. First and foremost, the Lord knows the plans that He has for us. And then that last verse that says, when you seek me, you will find me. So as we are creating space for God to just speak to us throughout the day, He will show up as we are creating that space and seeking Him in that time that we previously would be listening to podcast, music, whatever, and instead pursuing the Lord. So that is going to be number one. So sign number two on our list, the second sign that you are drifting away from God, is that the sin that used to bother you no longer does. So like I mentioned earlier, as we grow in our relationship with God, we become more Christ-like by spending time with Him. So that basically means that the things that break Jesus's heart will break our heart. The sin that makes Jesus angry will make us righteously angry as well. But the opposite is also true. So the more that we drift away from the Lord, this sin that originally we would be really bothered by, or maybe even really angry about righteously, or even just like wanting to do something about, it no longer has that same effect on us. We're no longer bothered by it. And before you know it, we could also start making exceptions or even slipping slowly into small temptations. So the Bible verses I have for you here, I actually have two. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the first one. It is from Hebrews. So Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked for us." And so this for me stands out because we are to push off our sin and we are to run towards God. And drifting is literally doing like the exact opposite of that. And then the second Bible verse I have for you, I'll go ahead and pop that up here. It is in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And it says, "Do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourself that the will of God is that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for you." So who doesn't love some good old Romans, guys? I love Romans. And I feel like that really encapsulates everything with this sign. So number 3 on our list is you are making decisions without first consulting God. And the thing about this is honestly a symptom of a deeper heart issue. One, pride, but also self-sufficiency. So pride comes in and tells us, we got this. We don't need to necessarily consult the Lord on this. I can make this decision. And then self-sufficiency really stamps what pride is believing and says, yeah, you're right. We got this. You don't really need to go to God on this. And then before you know it, we're making decisions. We're making plans without going to God. And then undoubtedly, something is going to go wrong. Something is not going to turn out the way we thought it was going to go. And we are going to then look up at God and realize, wow, I got in this position without ever even consulting you. And now luckily we serve a kind and loving God who again is always going to welcome us with open arms, but we can kind of help ourselves here by not allowing self-sufficiency to creep into our heart and to creep into our actions. And so if you're noticing that you are making decisions without consulting God, whether they're big or small, because really consulting God on those small decisions can be such an act of humbleness, humility, there we go. Such an act of humility. And also it's like a muscle that you're practicing. And so the more you work out this muscle of going to God before making a decision, the more it's going to be your knee-jerk reaction, you know? So the Bible verse I have for you guys here comes from Proverbs. I'll go ahead and pop that up on the screen. It is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. And it says, "Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand." So that is going to be sign number 3. So our fourth and final sign today that you may be drifting away from the Lord is that you are very focused on yourself. And now this isn't inherently wrong. We definitely want to take care of ourselves. We definitely want to make sure that our individual cup is full so then we can go and pour into others. However, if all of our thoughts revolve around how we feel, what we think, what we prefer, when are we really demonstrating that Christ-like nature of not being concerned about being served, but instead wanting to serve others? So as we spend more time with the Lord, like I continue to mention, his characteristics become ours. So if we're finding ourselves just really consumed all day with things that we like, things we don't like, issues we have and things we want to be different, and not ever considering, oh, how can I serve someone here? How can I make someone else's day better here? Oh, what little word can I use to encourage someone there? We are missing the opportunity to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And as we're doing that, that can definitely be a sign that we are far from him. And the thing about this is, as humans, in our human simple nature, it is going to be so easy for us to slip into selfishness. It will come very easy to us, but we don't have to stay there. So as you begin just focusing more on the Lord, focusing more on doing the things that he is calling you to do, by consulting him on what you should do with your days, you naturally are going to be gravitating back towards him. So the Bible verse I have for you here, I'm going to go ahead and pop it up on the screen. It is James chapter 3, verses 16 and 17. It says, "For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder, unrest, rebellion, and every evil thing and morally degrading practice. But the wisdom from above is pure, morally and spiritually undefiled. Then peace-loving, courteous, considerate, gentle, reasonable, and willing to listen, full of compassion and good fruits. It's unwavering, without self-righteous hypocrisy and self-serving guile." And so I feel like this verse just encapsulates what it really looks like to be filled with the Holy Spirit, to be led by the Lord and not our flesh. When we let our flesh lead, we are always going to go to a place that is only concerned with us. But when we let the Lord lead, that is truly when we're able to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to live out this morally beautiful and righteous life that glorifies the Father. So that is going to be sign number 4. All right, guys, so that is going to be it for me. These are the 4 signs that you may be drifting away from the Lord. So I hope this video leaves you feeling encouraged to just take that one next step in the Lord's direction. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, it is now your turn. So in the comments below, let us know, have you ever felt yourself drifting away from God? If so, what is something that you have used or you have done to help you anchor to the Lord in these times? I'm going to be sharing my experience down below in the comments, so definitely take some time, scroll through, and share your experience with us as well. All right, well, I will see you in my next video. Peace.